they say can't be done.
It's hard to remember now, but when Smokey and the Bandit came out in 1977, it changed everything. It made Burt Reynolds a top movie star, it resurrected Jackie Gleason's career, and by 1979 it doubled the sales of the Pontiac Trans Am. But there's probably a few things you didn't know about Smokey and the Bandit. Number 1. Mike Henry, who played Junior Justice, had an earlier career as a linebacker with Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Rams. He also played Tarzan in 3 movies and ended up suing the producer for, quote, maltreatment, abuse, and working conditions detrimental to my health and welfare, after he suffered from dysentery, an ear infection, a liver ailment, and got 20 stitches in his chin after he was bitten on the face by a chimp. Number 2. The Bandit's real name only comes up once, Bo Danville, but in the original script he was only identified as LaRue. There are tons of other changes from the original screenplay too. Carrie's name was Kate, Snowman's handle was Bandit 2, Big Enos and Little Enos's names were Kyle and Dickie, Junior hadn't even been written in yet, and the Bandit's car wasn't a Trans Am, and the reward for making the run was a new truck, not
$80,000. $80,000.
Number 3. Smokey and the Bandit earned an Oscar nomination for Walter Hanneman and Angelo Ross for their editing. They lost the Oscar to Paul Hirsch, Marcia Lucas, and Richard Chew for Star Wars, which also beat out Smokey and the Bandit for the highest grossing film of 1977. Number 4. The guy cooking burgers at the truck stop where the snowman gets his ass kicked was played by Lamar Jackson. He was a Georgia state trooper at the time, and he went on to act in 4 more Burt Reynolds movies, Sharky's Machine, Stick, Rent-A-Cop, and Physical Evidence, and he was also an associate producer on Reynolds' TV show Evening Shade. Number 5. Whenever Smokey and the Bandit appears on television, half of Jackie Gleason's dialogue is horribly dubbed.
And that's nothing but pure and simple old-fashioned communism.
The guy hired to fill in was Henry Corden, who also slipped into the role of Fred Flintstone's voice when Alan Reed died in 1977, which is pretty ironic because Fred Flintstone was almost a shot-for-shot lift of Jackie Gleason's Ralph Cramden in The Honeymoon. Number 6. If you saw the original movie in 1977, Corden's work will make you cringe, but the dubbed version was so weirdly recognized that Hot Wheels marketed a 1970 Firebird G machine in 2007 with Scumbum on the rear spoiler, which was the cleaned up and somehow more disturbing version of Jackie Gleason's. Number 7. Most people know that Paul Williams, who played Little Enos Burdette, was a songwriter, but not many people remember how insanely popular his music was with middle-aged white people. Between 1971 and 1979, Williams was on a roll. He wrote We've Only Just Begun and Rainy Days and Mondays, which are both number 2 hits for the Carpenters, You and Me Against the World and Just an Old-Fashioned Love Song, which are both top 10 hits for Helen Reddy and Three Dog Night, the theme from the movie A Star is Born, which Barbra Streisand took to number 1, Rainbow Connection, a song sung by a frog, which got an Oscar nomination and hit number 25 on the Billboard Hot 100. And if that wasn't enough, he wrote the lyrics for the theme to Well, that's it for 7 things you didn't know about Smokey and the Bandit.